In this video, we're going to talk about how to display recipe collections with shortcodes and with the recipe maker Gutenberg block for recipe collections is what we're going to do. So here we are, recipe collections, display demo. And so what we want to do is if you go over to Google and search for WP Recipe Maker shortcode, it'll bring you to the support documentation here. And we see here recipe collections is there, and we want the WPRM save collection ID with the number. It's very important that it's that one. And to display it in the page, we need to get the shortcode block and paste it in like that, and it'll show up. But the ID is critical because that's not correct. If we update that and go and view the page, there's nothing there and the number is not correct. That's why. So to get the correct number, we need to go back to our recipe collections, features. We need to find the ID of the saved collection that we want. So we'll go down through the names of them here, and I have my 5-day plant-based vegan specials for dinner there, and there's the ID, folks. And you know, it's very important to remind you of this as well. If the ID is not there, or if any other column is not there sometime that you're looking for, that can be, it's so easy to overlook that. I've seen it, I've done it so many times myself, when you can't find something and all that's wrong is that the screen options, and bulk edit is another one it's very easy to miss. If you're trying to bulk edit things there, sometimes it won't be there. So that's it, just that little tip there, folks. And so we want the ID there, ID, the numbers up the top there, and we want to go back to our page, and recipe collection shortcode demo, I called it, and paste in the correct number. So when we go to our page, it should be there. Yep. There we have it. Now, here's an important point to note with this Genesis theme. We have a problem now that the sidebar is on the right. I'm using the Foodie Pro theme. So we need to change the template for the page. And that is here, layout, select layout, full width content. That's there like that. And when I refresh it, we can see now it's the way we want. So there it is. This can get complicated now, the difference between pages and posts, because posts work in a chronological order. So the reason that you might show a meal plan in a page is if you're building a landing page for an advertising campaign and you want to show people how it works. But if you were giving people weekly meal plans and you weren't pushing them to the recipe box, so the recipe box is there. So there's another way. Say you were running a membership website, what you would do in that situation, you could create a custom post type. I will actually show you my Foodie Classroom plugin that works with a custom post type. That's an application that I built myself now that we charge a monthly fee for, and it's available as a plugin as well. I'll show you that in the upcoming videos, but I just want to get back to this, the difference between pages and posts. So as I said, the only time you'd really embed the 1 week meal plan in a page is if you're doing a kind of a landing page. But in posts, you would go to categories, and we will create a category called meal plans. Add new category. We want to create a new post. It's important now, we need to post this in our meal plan category. That's in alphabetical order now, so it should be here, meal plans. I'm going to show you the way the posts filter works, and this time I'm going to use the WordPress Recipe Maker collections feature. Here it is, recipe, insert existing. No, sugar, done that wrong. I thought it was there. I'm just going to WPRM. I must be missing that COLL. There it is. Search for collections, recipe collections. Now, when we click in it, should be able to. That's very strange. The recipe collections feature will show up on the actual. That's the wrong block, so it is. Saved collection. Yeah, it's good to make a mistake there actually, folks, because it could happen to you. So instead of using the shortcode block is actually nearly easier than messing about with that. But here, now this is important, because if you're outside the block, you won't see the features available for the save collection block. So you want to click in the block, and as before, we got the saved collection, we got the ID of it, remember, in the column, and you do that, you put the ID in like that, and then when we go to our post, there we have it. So when we go back here now, select layout, we can actually give the full width layout as well. So that's the page I think we did, but it's the post we want, and there it is. That's the post now. So I'll call it post 1, so that we'll know what it is. Update. I want to add new. I'll call this post 2, because I want to explain featured images and the grid layout for our posts. So we want to go to save collection and get rid of the Genesis there. It can be a bit confusing now with all these settings in different places. So I'm doing this a long time, and I even get confused now at times. So I called it post 2. So I want to go back here. I want to go back to that Genesis setting and give it the full width content. So I post 1 and post 2. I'm going to create a page now for our grid. Add new. We'll call this meal plans. Weekly meal plans, and I'll publish that. I'll actually, when I'm here, I'll go to my menus, weekly meal plans, like that, save. So just get rid of all these windows now, make it easier to understand. So we want to go into our Beaver Builder now. I'll show you the sidebars there again. I don't want that there. It's not going to full width, update. Now, so I can turn off the page title there as well. I'll actually do it now when I mentioned it so that we'll know where it is. It's over here. Hide the title because it's not very pretty looking. We can put in our own title. So what we want to do now, we will go to the Powerpack modules and we're looking for posts. It'll be, I can search here, POSTS, and it'll be content grid. And this will explain why. Now, it'll automatically show our normal posts. So we have a problem now that we need to filter the posts. I'll actually just save this to explain what I mean. Do you see the way it has all our recipes and there's post 1 and 2 are the recipe collections we just posted, but everything is there and even another page. So we don't want that. So we need to filter it because all we want is weekly meal plans. We want to go to content. We want to go to grid. Content, is it here? Yeah, the category. Meal plans. So I just called it meal plans. There it is. It comes up now and there's more features there for filtering, but that's all we want. So I must have forgotten to put post 2 into. So if I go back now, weekly meal plans are there now. So, and when I go in, post 1 is there, but post 2 isn't, and you see we've no image either. So I want to go back to my admin. I have all posts and I want to go into post 1 and oh sugar now, so it's the post there. There's an awful lot of options here when you're trying to find things. Featured image, and you select your featured image, and that's going to be the image in the grid now. Post 1, and I said that I forgot to put, I actually put post 2 into the wrong category. I just noticed. Categories. Oh no, it automatically went into that one. That's what it is. But so we're covering quite a lot here. You know, you need to be meticulous. If this isn't set up right, that it just won't work. It won't be displayed right. The content won't be correct. So we need to set a featured image there now. And when we go back to our front, and these meal plans have actually come up on the front page as well, but we can filter that as well. We can actually exclude them the same way as we use the filter here. So there we have it, folks. You know, that you could be posting weekly meal plans like that, and you would put them into the meal plan category and they'll show up in the grid. So this probably you can do it either way. Like, you see, people have their recipe box, and the thing is, you can push collections, as I covered in the previous video, each week to the list, or you can make your collections available for the quick pre-made there. So I have a pre-made collection, get fit loss and everything, but the thing is, if you're running for a recipe blog, I'd probably just leave it the way it is. But if I was running a membership website, I would do it like this with the grid. I would do it differently, because that's the way my Foodie Classroom application that I built works, that you post the recipe collections in a grid like this. And the thing is, if you're not a member, you can't access them. You can't see them. They get a different message, And the thing is, if you have a post like this, you can put other content in the post as well. You could put a video for each week. You could be running fitness classes, yoga, absolutely anything, absolutely anything. If you can think it, we can build it. It's as simple as that. All you need is a good imagination and creativity. So that's it, folks. I've covered how to display a recipe collection with shortcodes and using the Gutenberg Builder, and how to display them there in pages and posts, and how to set up your weekly meal plans in a grid as well. And of course, in Beaver Builder, I didn't cover that, but we can change the content that's here. We can get rid of my name there and the date, and we can change the styling. And then in a later video, I'm going to put in a search bar where people can search the recipes as well. That's called facet search. So that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed that video, and we'll move on to the next one.